Happy Thursday. So it's interesting. Jesus gives them the vision of a mansion, right? The place that they can live and reside, and he promises to come back and get them. So in that way, he helps them understand that they shouldn't be worried, right? He'll definitely come back. And then he says, but while I'm gone, I'm also going to leave you the advocate, like a partner, somebody to walk with you, right? The Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit will unveil me to you in your life and help you remember and help you live your Jesus life, to know me, right? And to know the Father, because you and I are one in the Father. So he leaves the advocate. Those are two imageries that Jesus gives his disciples. He says, let's go. Let's go. I'm not going to say anything else. This is entirely enough. You know where you're going. You know I'm coming back for you. You know I'm leaving the advocate for you. And now the powers of the world are going to come to get me, and I'm not going to stop them. Because, well, that's not God's will for my life. That's into chapter 14. Now we move to chapter 15. And we get yet another image. It sort of seems like there's a lot of tension in the room. And Jesus is like, wait. Okay, everyone sit back down. Everyone sit back down. Let me say another thing, okay? And then he says this. I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine grower. He removes every branch in me that bears no fruit. Every branch that bears fruit he prunes to make it bear more fruit. You have already been cleansed by the word that I have spoken to you. Abide in me as I abide in you, just as the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine, and neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who abide in me and I in them will bear much fruit, because apart from me, you can do nothing. Whoever does not abide in me is thrown away like a branch that withers. Such branches are gathered and thrown into the fire and burned. If you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask for whatever you wish and it will be done for you. So this is the second time we hear Jesus say, look at whatever you want, ask, and it'll be done for you. Abide in me, connect to me, take my words into you, right, and let them be your words. God is gonna clip off some branches, right? God is going to prune it back. And that's good, right? Because we know in viticulture and in any kind of gardening that we do, that it is the pruning that causes things to blossom. So that is a metaphor, because remember, Jesus always taught in context, right, using real world examples so people can understand in the present moment what he's trying to say. And he uses this vine grower analogy. And this is old. If you go back to Ezekiel chapter 15, we have this same idea. Ezekiel says, chapter 15, the word of the Lord came to me, O mortal, how does the wood of the vine surpass all other wood? The vine branch that is among the trees of the forest. Is wood taken from it to make anything? Does one take a peg from it on which to hang an object? Puts it in the fire for fuel. Right? So he's talking about here, and you can read on Ezekiel chapter 15, I encourage you to. But what he's saying is the wood of the vine is really useless. You can't build with it. You can't, it's maybe just good to burn. But it also produces, he goes, when it is whole, it was used for nothing, much less than fire that consumed a charge, But the idea is that the vine produces the fruit. And that's what it does to feed the world, right? So you don't build with it. It's not particularly good for burning. It is only good for sharing the fruit of itself. And that's it, but it happens when it's connected to Jesus. And so what Jesus is saying to the disciples is, connect with me, right? And in that connection, my vitality from the vitality of God will flow out into all aspects of your life. And when that happens, and when that happens, whatever you ask will be done for you. And this, of course, verse 8, my Father is glorified by this, that you bear much fruit, because you are my disciples. So let's just leave it at that. This idea of staying connected and that the fruit of the vine isn't good for anything other than being fruity. No, it's only good for sharing the glory of God and God's good works in the world. And so I invite you to raise your glass, if you're having a glass of wine or whatever you're having in the evening, and toast the vitality of God that is made known because we are linked to God. Toast the vitality. You are connected to the vine. Hear my prayers. I think of you. I love you. Peace upon your soul.